We're joining Dori Sham this morning, and we're going to start off with Playboy in the third race, the first leg of the PA with regular stable jock JP van der Merwe.
Nadine is having only his second run back after a very long injury-induced break. We thought of running him in the RA Stakes race, but he's still blowing a bit. I think he'll need the run. We do think quite a bit of him, so he could pop up.
We're with Gavin Smith this morning, and we're going to start off with Fiscado in the third race. First leg of the PA, other runners, King of Indians, ready for spring.
No, it's that Fiscado, he should be maybe in need of the run still. First run in Port Elizabeth. He's a little bit chubby at the moment. Nice type of horse. Could possibly run into the back end of the quartet, but I think well held by King of Indians and ready for spring at this stage of the game.
We're at the Tara Lang stables, and we're going to start off with her two horses in the first leg of the PA, Crimson Express and Legacy.
Yeah, and Nadine, Crimson Express, I think he's going to be a nice sort. I've opted to take him from the 1,000 and put him over ground today. He's a big horse. He's a little bit backwards, but I think he's a horse that, you know, one can keep an eye on for the future. Then we go on to Legacy. He's ultra consistent. I mean, 70,000 rand in the maidens. I mean, what a pleasure. If Sunday's his day, then Sunday's his day to win, but ultra consistent.
I'm really happy with both my horses. Golden Raucous, in particular, has always been thereabouts. Should be in with a place chance. Supervillain ran on Monday. I really think that he's come out of the race well, and he's going over a mile for the first time, and I really think that he'll like the extra distance, and he should also go close.
Starting here with One Track Mind and Billy of Beaumont in the third race over a mile. One Track Mind's been a model of consistency, really, hasn't he? Always in the money. He's had 12 starts, 10 of them in the money. And he's always running on, and I think, you know, the mile might just suit him. We haven't been this far with him, and he's a nice looking horse, and hopefully he can now put this all together today, or Sunday rather, and get to the winner's box. Billy of Beaumont, I think, is a horse that's been improving. He's been drawn badly his last couple of starts, and running on, and I think he'll make a count for himself and at least run in the money.
The Bremner Yard are represented by 4 horses in the first leg of the Pick 6. With me we have Carl Hurtson. Do we need to put them all in?
The obvious one of the 4 would be KTM. I think he should be our first choice. She's got very solid form and stands out. And Natalia, first run back after a little break, 1,000 metres, ordinarily would be a little bit short, I would imagine. Explosive move, I don't really know what to make of her. She was a surprise winner last time, and she's only just coming out of her maiden run. And then the 4th one, Bella Regarza, she's actually been a bit disappointed, expected more of her, and she hasn't really come to light. So, yeah, I would say KTM would definitely be our first choice.
Then we move on to Got to Be Great in the 4th.
She does enjoy Fairview. She's got the kind of action that hasn't done well at Arlington, but we couldn't leave her standing here for 6 weeks. We're going to try Tongue Tie on Sunday, and I think she should be thereabouts. Then
moving on to the first leg of the Pick 6, you have Varuna.
Look, she's always within us in a shout in the fillies 1,000 metres. It's her best trip. You know, I've tried over 1,200, she doesn't do it. She loves the 5 furlongs, and I think with the Apprentice Claim puts her into the race, albeit a very strong field, I feel, and I'd include in quartets.
Moving on to race 4, you have Our Dizzy Emblem.
Yeah, honest filly Nadine, she's definitely a runner, you know, in this type of field. I mean, if you have a look at when she won in the thousands with Narish, I mean, she pulverised the boys by 8 lengths. I mean, she's definitely got ability, and, you know, it depends on the pace, but that's why we've got Raymond Danielson, and I'm sure he'll have her in the shake-up.
We move on to the first leg of the Pick 6, where you've got 2 runners, Flashing Star and the Thames.
Yeah, Flashing Star, she's a nice filly. She's got quite a bit of a hiding one day for running a place in a feature race, and Graduation is the right sort of race for her. She can be a little bit inconsistent. She's got the potential, but she has been a little bit inconsistent. The Thames is running on Friday, and you know, if she runs a good race and pulls up out of it very well and sound, I think she could give herself a count and be in the money.
First leg of the jackpot, you have Shazza, Travel Up Front and White Flight. Which one stands out for you?
I think obviously I'll go with White Flight. I know she only just won a maiden. It was actually the only maiden we could find. I remember speaking to her about it before the race. We planned to run her before that, over shorter. Well, now we've got the right kind of race. And I know people don't really fancy horses when they come out to maidens, but I think she could be a little bit special. I think she will go on from a maiden win. Shazza, she's been kind of consistent. She's always been that 4 or 5 lengths off, but not really getting there just of late.
Then we have 2 runners in the 5th, Array of Stars and Pure Elegance.
Array of Stars is what I call my ugly duckling, but she's slowly coming to hand. She ran a cracker at Darlington 2 runs ago. Last run I think we can ignore. She got chucked out on the bend, and I really think with her huge stride she'll be a lot better at Fairview. I expect to see her running on at the end. And Pure Elegance I think is going to need it, and certainly need further, but a run is a run.
Moving on to race 5, first leg of the jackpot. You're represented by Above Emeralds.
Yes, Above Emeralds, Nadine. Only her 2nd run for me. She's not the best striding fillies that I've got. She's got a terrible draw coming off barrier 14, but I think she'll prefer the Fairview course compared to Arlington course.
In the 5th race, you're represented with Popular Blues.
Popular Blues ran a good race after winning the maiden. Has come on since then, and it's a competitive race, but she should definitely be thereabouts or right up in the mix of things.
Race 5, you're represented by Dubois City. You have another 2 runners. They are Reserve 1 and Reserve 2, Miss Imperial and River Tyne.
Yeah, Dubois City won over 1200, and I think this is now her 2nd run or 3rd run out of the maiden plate. Nice filly. I think if things go well, she could run a place. It is a novice plate, so she's a little bit out at the weights.
I like this horse a lot. I think on the day our probably best 2 runners would be White Flight and Foreign Sovereign. I do like this horse. He's had some very good runs. He's been screaming out for the 1200 at Fairview. Eventually one has come along, so one to beat. Definitely one to beat.
Arctic Jet, Protest Song and Beauclair.
Yes, I think at the weights, Nadine, I think Barron's ride Protest Song has got a bit of a squeak. Beauclair, he's my absolute cherry in the yard. He's an absolute gentleman to work with. You know, he's done really well since relocating from Cape Town. He's an honest horse. He is short of a run, but I think his honesty and his class will pull him through to the line. I think he's one to watch in the race. And then we go on to my old man, Arctic Jet. You know, he's not an 11-time winner for nothing, Nadine. He went off form horribly, but on his day, I mean, he's got all these horses beat. So let's just hope that he's in the mood to race on Sunday.
Followed by the 6th, Levar and Money for Love.
Levar, I was very pleased with his effort last week. He's coming back to himself nicely after he bled. He had a long break. And yeah, he's peaking up again. He's looking tremendous. And I think it was a run full of merit. He got squeezed a little bit, compromised at a crucial stage of the race last week. But running on and beaten, I think, just a length. And he's much better over the 6 furlong at Fairview. He's a definite runner. And Money for Love will make a big runner as well. His last start, he came from way off them. Trouble is, it takes so long to get going, and if you rush him, he doesn't run on. So you got to leave him when he's happy, and when he decides to kick, he kicks. And I think the right type of race for him as well.
Moving on to the 6th race, you're represented by 3 runners, Breezing Through, Jet Burst and the Plunderer.
Breezing Through, I'm expecting a big run from. He's been working really well at home. Very honest sort, so he'll give 110% that I know of. The same I must say about Jet Burst. He was very unlucky the last 2 runs, got into quite a lot of traffic, and he should also be, you know, thereabouts. Very, very happy with his work up until now. The Plunderer ran a really good race coming out after a break, and he's trimmed up and toned up really well, and I'm expecting a good run from him as well.
Well, T-Line, he's been running what I think is probably a little bit too far for him at Arlington over the mile and from bad draws. I know he won a mile, but Wayne got away with it that day. I mean, he packed the horses up and he made his own pace. But from a bad draw, that side is very difficult. We've got him in at 12 here. He's very, very well. I'd like to see him running on rather than tearing off to the front like he has been doing. Olympic Winter, this is a horse we've struggled to get in any kind of race because of his merit rating. But we've been lucky enough to squeeze him in here. He's definitely a horse for the back end of the quartets.
Brother in Arms and Ebro represent you in the Blitz PA first leg.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a quick race, that. Brother in Arms has come from Joburg. He's a lovely, lovely horse of John Finlayson's, and I must thank Brian Weed. He came in such great condition. He'll be there at the death, I think, and Ebro will be running on. He got taken out last week at Arlington, but he should be doing his best work at the end.
In the 7th, you've got a host of runners, Americano, Kirtling Towers, Land of Meadows and Skirmish.
Skirmish, he's needed his runs down here. He's got a low merit. Probably the race can be a little bit tough for him. He needs a lower division to be best effective. Americana best is a six furlong affair. We've been waiting a while for a Fairview 1200 metres. He'll be running into the quartets, and the end of Meadows same. Although his form is a little patchy, he's got his issues, but 1200 metres is his best trip, working very, very well. So as an outsider for everybody in the exotics, it's worth including. And Kirtling Towers, I think, is going to run a huge race. Right track, right trip, everything's ready. Third run after gelding.
Tell us a little bit about Little Pearl, your runner in the 7th.
Little Pearl is quite a quirky fella. He always does a lot of squealing when he's really well, and of late he's done quite a lot of squealing. So actually for him, he's really well in himself, and I think he should be a big runner for us in this race.
All three of these horses have given good account of themselves in their last runs. The Ford, as you know, is a very consistent horse, and he only ever gets to the line when he has to get to the line and things have got to run his way. And you know, he's an 8-time winner with a merit rating of 76. He's done everything that's been asked of him, and you know, he's a very obscure horse. No one really takes much notice of him, but he's won 8 races. Sporting Rooney ran a very nice race last time out from off the back of the field to run 5th, only beaten 3.5 odd lengths back around the turn at Arlington, which didn't really suit him with that short run in, and I think he could be in the money. And then River Whistler, well, he won a good race on Monday.
He's more of a hopeful than anything else, you know, you've got to be honest. I mean, there's some good away horses come down, and there's a couple of good local horses running in the race too. I wouldn't leave Sue out if you were going to go large in a quartet. I know everyone's going to say he hasn't run for a while and he's come back to 2000, but I will tell you he's very, very well. I wouldn't leave him out back end of a quartet. That's about all.
And then, of course, a very interesting runner in the way of Two Gun Kid in the big race. What do you expect from him?
We're in unknown territory with him. He did win a 2000 in Joburg, but in much lesser company. He's our champ, and he's our chance, you know, so he'll be trying hard, and JP knows him well, so we hope he'll be there.
As to news, well, I think of the weight he's been given plus the draw, he's got a mountain to climb. Top horse. Not a very big guy, he's a small guy, but he's got plenty heart. He needed his first run for me, and he's come on plenty from that. I will say his preparation's gone superb. He's looking tremendous. He's very fit. Storm Dancer, a really nice horse. He came in perfect nick from Mark. He's been down here a good 6-7 weeks. He's had 2 gallops already. Having finally tuned on the day, I think is a big runner. And Zazino, well, you know, at the weights, he's going to be up there, and he soldiers on. He's an absolute soldier. He does his best, and he'll give of his best. But yeah, it might be a field a little bit strong for him.
In the betting world ALGOA Cup, you have the ever game, ever consistent Indian Hawk.
He's been great up until now. I can't fault his work up until the race. He's got the services of Louis, which is an added bonus, as Louis rides him every day and knows him very well. And yeah, I mean, the work up until the race has been great, and I'm expecting a really good run from him.
The up-and-coming Way Clear runs for you in the ALGOA Betting World Cup. How do you feel about him?
Oh, Way Clear, you know, he's got to take his chances. He won the feature race as a 3-year-old last year, the Racing Association, over this weekend. He also ran 4th in our derby over 2-4, so, you know, I think he's got a chance. He's got a little bit to do against horses like Astro News and some of the harder knocking out-of-town horses that got good form in them. But, you know, we're drawn wide and we must take our chances from there.
Well, you'll see we put the blinkers on him for the first time. We thought that might help him a little bit because he's very highly strung, and the blinkers do seem to have calmed him a bit, and he's concentrating more on his work. So I think whatever beats him will win.
I get the feeling that he's a far better horse at Fairview than at Arlington.
That's about right. I mean, he's won all his races at Fairview. He come fairly well his last couple of runs at Arlington, but I think it took him too long to adapt. And coming back here on his home course, that's why I make him such a big runner.
Rounding up your runners in the last leg of the PA, we have Chill Factor and Greystone.
Greystone's really improved and coming along so well. He won very, very well at Arlington, and Mike is very keen for him to fly the flag for Grey's Inn. He's taken a big step up in class, but he's a big chap and he's working very, very well. Chill Factor as well, we're going a bit further. We're hoping to just get him to relax a bit, and that perhaps the pace in the 1800 might not be so fast, and he can just relax a little bit and improve.
And we finish off in the last leg of the PA with Silverano.
Honest as the day is long nights. If we get a little bit of rain as expected, he's done best when the cut is at the ground. His wins for me have been emphatic when it's been wet going. So if it's a bit in the soft in the day, he's going to run a huge race. But still, give a good account of himself. Small but competitive field that.
You round up your PA runners with Skippy John Jones in the 9.
Skippy John Jones has come out of his last race really well. He had a little break before that. Really happy with his last run, and he should come into this race with a big chance, and really happy with his work up until now.
Placido runs for your yard in the last leg of the PA.
Yes, Placido I thought ran a very good race, and Greg, last time out, Greg felt that the Arlington bend wasn't really suiting him. He was scrambling a bit, and he said, you know, keep him in the same sort of company over the same sort of distance, and he should just about win. So I'm expecting him to be a big runner on Sunday.
We're going to start with the PA first leg. Middlesex Street and Red Magic represent your yard.
Red Magic, nice little sort, but unfortunately he'll be a stayer and he'll only come to hand as a late 3-4-year-old. I've been planning to run him further, but the RA bonuses, we're trying for the mile. Middlesex Street, young horse as well. Not a good sand horse, so I opted to put him at 2-4 a week or two ago. He took that run very well, ran on beautifully. We switched him off and he quickened lovely. So this time, the mile, I think he'll be at his best.
Another very interesting runner is later on in the day in race 7, Money Never Sleeps.
Yes, he ran a cracking short 8 second the other day over a mile. Unfortunately, couldn't get in the mile, but with a bad draw on the mile, good draw 1200. He won on 1,000, which means he's got the toe and he'll be fit and well. He'll be there.
Obviously, a very interesting runner for us is Gian Duja. He represents you in the ALGOA Betting World Cup. What do you have to say about him?
Yes, nice sort. I think he'll have a good career in PE. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks back, one meeting got washed out and that upset the whole apple cart as in the plan towards the ALGOA Cup. And it got to a point where we thought we're not going to get there. So we ended up running against in Pinnacle Place, top these horses, got pipped there. And I ran him last week, which I didn't want to do, but I had to try and get the points and see if I can get in, and I hope I didn't leave my race behind.